This is Community Connections, airing on OROMIA11. I am your host, Anna Orr, and today's guest is April Foster. She is the full service coordinator at Robbinsdale Area Community Schools. She is located at Sandburg Middle School and Highview Alternative Learning Center program. We're going to talk to her about summer programming, gearing up for fall, and a little bit about her background within the Twin Cities community. Stay tuned. This is going to be a wonderful conversation. Thank you for joining me today, April. I'm so excited to have you joining me on an episode of Community Connections.
Thank you for having me.
Can you talk to me a little bit about your role as a full service coordinator, not only in a middle school at Sandburg, but also at Highview Alternative School?
Yes, so the work that I do, we make connections with families, students, and the community. So for example, if a student needs a resource around healthcare or they need a resource around trying to find a job, we are the connection that makes that happen in the school, within the school day and throughout the school day. If a parent comes in or a community member comes in and they're new to the community and they're trying to look for childcare, or they need to know who's the best tax preparer, we can provide them with those resources free of charge.
Now, this is not your initial role in education. You have had a long-standing history not only in the community, but as well as in the school system. Can you talk a bit about that and how you ended up at this juncture being a full-service coordinator?
Yes, so my first stint in education was working with youth. Have always worked with young people and did some tutoring, avid tutoring. Left from there and then started working in after school at PCYC. Loved that a lot. And then left from there and did a little work in nonprofit, which also kept me with young people through theater and arts, which I enjoyed. And then took a break from that and decided to do something else still with young people, and that's how I got to Robbinsdale.
That's wonderful. Now, during the summer months, is a full service coordinator still needed, or how do you necessarily navigate that? Because I know so many are like, we've gone by the school and it appears to be a ghost town, you know what I mean? Because it's the summer, you know, school's out for summer. Can you kind of talk about what the role looks like in the summertime for students and their families?
Yes, so particularly at our building, we do have a summer academy. So students are in the building, young people are in the building from K through 5th. So they have programming for them. But my role, we do a lot of connections. So this is the time where we do all the feet on the ground. We're making connections with people. We're following up with families, seeing what they need. If there is a need, it's a little bit more downtime, but it's a little bit also a lot of working and making connections and reminding people, even though school may be out, families are still in need of different things. Services change for the summer, and just making sure that we are accessing things so that when parents come back to school with their children, they have the information they need if there's anything that they need, so that we already have it, so we don't have to go out in the fall and look for it. We can say, oh yeah, we know where that is, and here's the information.
Okay. Now, you talked about some of the summer programming being Summer Academy, but also you all have a lunch program that's currently running in the area. And I thought this was wonderful because so many children experience missing a meal, 1, 2, or 3 throughout the summer holidays, waiting for school to open back up because of the food inconsistency. And now with inflation making it even more difficult to acquire food in the home, kids are really depending on receiving a meal wherever that they can get it. So can you talk a little bit about the lunch program and how that kind of came to be?
Yes, this is one of my favorite things to talk about. So the lunch program is for students who are school age, but not 18 yet. And they can access our school lunch program. They can come into the building, and there are some at the parks as well. There's a 2-hour window for breakfast and lunch, and they get a full meal. So a full meal is a protein, a vegetable, a fruit, and a beverage like orange juice or cranberry juice, and then a milk. And then we do have some that if they can't stay, they get it in a little bag and they can just take it and go. And that's throughout the summer until school starts. So up until like Labor Day weekend.
Okay. I really think it's important for people to pay attention, because I saw on the website the van that goes around, the food truck that's going around, and it's so, you can't miss it. As soon as you see it, you're like, what's going on? Like, should I get my money ready to go buy something, or where are they going to? So to see that they're providing lunch in the communities is such a wonderful thing to hear about. But also they were saying that the mobile is actually there, the food truck is there 30 minutes to pass out as many lunches as possible, and then they move to the secondary location. And they have multiple parks throughout the area, right? Across the Robbinsdale area. I have a couple of them jotted down so that we don't have people missing the opportunity to receive that meal. And I just want to share some of that. Sanborn in Robbinsdale is from 11 to 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, June 13th through August 12th. Manor Park in Robbinsdale is from 11:45 a.m. to 12:15 p.m. Monday through Friday. Becker Park in Crystal from 12:30 to 1 Monday through Friday. And the entire program ends August 19th. So that's running pretty close, running right up until school starts, that they are providing meals for the community as well as the students there in that area. I think that's wonderful. So we've talked a little bit about some of the programs, the lunch program, Summer Academy, but another program that I witnessed on the website was the Freedom School. So many African Americans are familiar about the program of Freedom School within the United States as well as Canada, which I just learned about. It also takes place in Toronto. But can you talk about the program as it stands where you guys are in Robbinsdale? I want to share just a piece about what the program is officially, if you don't mind. Currently, the Children's Defense Fund Freedom School program provides comprehensive, culturally relevant summer and after-school enrichment to children in high poverty areas. And this program was born out of in the 1960s by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, many of us know it as SNCC, during the 1964 Freedom Summer in Mississippi, which the name hails from. They were intended to counter the sharecropper education received by so many African Americans and poor whites within the United States. Can you talk to me about the program as it stands in Robbinsdale area schools?
So Robbinsdale does do Freedom School. So I like to talk about Freedom School as like it gives a comprehensive view of the civil rights movement up until today. So I think they merge. I really like how they merge the civil rights movement and how does it affect us today. So young people can see the connections, why we're able to live in the places we live, have the jobs we have, because it started in the civil rights movement. And how does that change, and who helped with that, and what are the books that teach us that, what are the songs that our ancestors sang to get them through different things. So it combines all of those things and puts it in a school setting, but very adaptable to all ages. They start every morning in a big kind of round setting. It's called Harambe, and so there's lots of music, there's lots of dancing, singing, and then everybody sits down and they have a guest reader. There's a guest reader every day. It could be a community member. I think a couple weeks ago they had a Lynx player, and so there's usually the principal of Freedom School will do a bio on that person and tell who the person is. They share the book, so the book is on a big TV where young people can see why the person's reading it, and it can be a book that the person decides to read, like a book they have or a book they want to read from the list given from Freedom School. Freedom School is very fun. It's very colorful. It comes with all the things that our young people need. They need to be able to sing, they need to be able to dance, they need to be able to be read to, but it also incorporates that in their everyday enrichment. So each classroom, if you ever get a chance to go, it warms you up. Each classroom, you really get to see where the teachers and young people come from, because they really talk about, students have to know who you are to buy in and to be invested in the Freedom School. And there is a lot of education that goes around it for teachers and young people who are in it. So it just makes it such a community feel, which is so important. That's what we need in schools. That's what we want. We want our young people to come in school and be like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. And Freedom School does that very, very well. So, and they get lunch and then they leave there literally every day being like, I don't want to leave. And it's like, you can come back tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. But it's just teaching Yeah, it's just mirroring those civil rights movement to today and giving students the real knowledge of how we got to where we are today. Why can we have the things that we have today? Because someone made sacrifices, and who are those people, so that they know. And it's not just the Nat Turners and the Malcolm X's. It's other people too that help push that movement along.
Now, we've talked about a lot of the programming and a little bit about your background and your work within the community with AVID and Project Success, and now being here at Sandburg and at Highview. But you are also a graduate of Grambling State University, which is a school that is near and dear to my heart because my older sister went to that school as well. So shout out to Grambling Tigers. But that is a historically Black college and or university. Can you share how that experience has shaped your work with the students that you are involved with every single day?
I would say being a graduate or even just going to a HBCU, I would say it really helps you focus in on who you are. It really gives you all the tools to remember who you are, to stretch you in different ways. And it makes you stand up a little bit taller. It makes you be a little bit more prouder than what maybe you already are, because it really hones in on those skills that you already have, but they do challenge you in a different way. And so being a graduate, I think it helps me remember what I needed in middle school and high school, and remembering that I needed a me. And there were people that were me in those places. And so that's how I show up for my young people, that they're always learning. You're always learning. You're always in a space of what can I do better? But I still have to show up as myself. I still have to be me. And I'm always ready to talk about my HBCU, because not just mine, but others, because there are plenty that are doing great work. And we know that leaders come from all schools, but some of the best come from HBCUs. Okay,
That's
I just
true.
want to say that.
That's a fact.
So yeah, so I think it has shaped me for who I am today, and it keeps shaping me because I'm always reading more things about it and how they're changing and evolving, and that makes me feel good too.
That's wonderful. What do you enjoy about your roles at Sandburg and at Highview? You can take them one by one or together, however you prefer.
Well, one, I love the flexibility of my job. I love that even though I'm in a school building, I don't have to adhere to all of the teacher things. There are plenty of things I do have to adhere to as a staff, but I love meeting the families. I love learning my students in a different way. And I say my students, even though I don't have a class, but they are my students. They can stop by anytime. I love that I get to have a space that's very inviting for all students. Like, they just pop in. Like, that's what I love. I love that. I also love that there are points in the day that staff will stop in and just be like, hi, I didn't see you today. And it's like, come on in. So that's what I like. And I like seeing young people start in one grade, and then by the end, they have totally evolved. And I'm like, I remember when you were this scrawny little person, and now you're this mature 8th grader, and you're ready to go to high school. And that makes me feel good, because I know that we all have a part in that. Some people will water, some people will, pluck the weeds, some people will till the ground. And knowing that each one of us has a part doesn't make me feel sad. It makes me feel like you will be well taken care of when you move to the next stage. Because even though I'm doing my part, that doesn't mean I'm done. That just means I'm just waiting in the back for when you need me. But that's the work I do, and I like it. And I like that I like school. I've always liked school. So I like all the bells and whistles of schools. And our school doesn't do like a bell system, which is good. It just does this little chime thing, so it's less jarring. But I like all the things, the lunchtime, the schedule, the buses, all of that, the running through the hall. Stop running. I'm like, they gonna run because they late. They gonna run. So I like being in a school. I like that. Mm-hmm.
I love that. But it's true. They're going to run because they're late. Don't we run when we're late?
Yes.
Downtown is full of people running to where they
Yes.
have to go at any point of the day.
That's true.
Can you talk about how we keep students and their families engaged throughout the summer and the fall? Because I think sometimes when summer approaches, we all get in the mindset that we can be more lax. And then there are others who take that time to use it as a time for preparation for the upcoming school year.
Right.
But how do you, as a full service coordinator, kind of navigate that to keep people engaged? Because I'm sure it's not easy to try and get parents on the horn and try and get scholars to come and do things at the school. But the programming you guys have right now sounds like that's a tipping point. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we, to answer your first part of your question, we do a lot of internet. So we have our own little website, so we keep things abreast on the website. We do a lot of flyering of our young people that are coming into the summer academy. So we get to see the parents a lot, because you can't nobody just walks out our building and is like, I'm a walker. No, you're not a walker. Where's mom, dad? Somebody has to walk with you. So we have that touch point, but also knowing that in the summer, that's a good time to let parents know what is out there, because they know about, a lot of parents know about certain things. They don't know about everything. And what we keep hearing from parents is, why isn't everything in one spot? Why can't I just click on this and everything comes up? And it's like, oh, it doesn't work like that, because the Y might be doing something, we're doing something, this other program. And I get it, but that's not how it is. Now, for us, we're going to create a flyer that has everything on it. But then when you create a flyer, you got to put in the website address, you got to put in a phone number. Well, we're in the 21st century.
That's true.
That's not easy for everybody, but some people still like paper, so we get it. So I would say to answer that question is, parents like to have options. The more options you have, the more you can figure out your day and say, okay, this week you're going to do this. Next week you might do swimming. 2 weeks from now you might do a day camp. And that's where we're hearing from parents that, I just knew about this one thing. That's why they're at the Y. Well, there's more than just the Y. There's other programs out there that may be free and reduced, or programs that you meet this criteria, so you just show up. You just register and show up. So just making sure that they have the information. But also we do, when it gets closer to school in August, we'll be doing a lot of mailers to families, because that's a free district thing. You can just mail everything and then they can get it. Yeah.
Very smart. Now, you are at a middle school as well as a high school. So you are really at a pivotal stage for both middle schoolers and high schoolers as they make a large transition. Yeah. Can you share with us and the viewership about what that looks like, how we can support our scholars as they transition from middle school to high school out into the rest of the world, whether that be college, a trade, or you're going to pursue the arts, or whatever that looks like?
Yeah, I would say from middle school to high school, sharing, well, not sharing, I'm gonna take a step back. Remembering when you were in middle school and how ever that was for you, and sharing those stories with young people, so that when they're stepping into the summer of 9th grade, they're thinking about, this is a good time. If you want to make a change, that's a good time to make a change. You want to be an athlete, you can still be an athlete. You want to be a bookworm, you can still be a bookworm. You want to get a job, this is a good time to explore what kind of jobs you want. Having those conversations. I would say also that transition from 8th grade to 9th grade, listening to them say the things they need to say. I'm scared, I'm excited, I don't know what to do. Some of my friends are going to different schools. Being able to hear those things and saying, okay, that is a true fact. Those things are true. You may be feeling that, but how can we get past those things so we can get you ready? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. From high school to college or beyond, remembering that there are different paths to get to success, whatever success is for those young people. That doesn't always mean college. That doesn't always mean, technical school. Sometimes that means students need a break. They need to work a little bit, and then they can make a very good decision for their life. I would also say asking the questions, not the question, what do you want to do? Because that really makes it singular. What do you want to do? And all of us know, I know, the viewers know, you're not going to just do one job in life. You're going to have many different positions and careers, and really saying, if you're interested in hair, then maybe you should start as an intern. and just, be the wash girl and see if you like this pace. Or if you're like, you know what, I've always been interested in making something, maybe you should go to a carpentry class before you decide to say, I'm going to school for this. Because many of us know that have gone to college, we learn very quickly what we did not want to do. And there's money attached to that. Then you kind of feel trapped like, now I gotta be a teacher because I said this is what I want to do. You don't know. And leaving space for young people to change. I think sometimes in conversations, young people hear, but you gotta know. You don't gotta know at 16, 17, 18, 19 what you want to do and be in life.
That's
you
true.
can say, I'm interested in this. I'm interested in that. I like this. Great. And we as adults should be saying, if you're interested in arts, have you been to the Walker Art Center? And if the answer is no, we should go there. We should go there so that they can see these things and not leaving it to someone else, or when they get to higher ed, they're going to have those experiences. They might not. So changing how we ask questions. And then also in that, I would say sharing our stories of how we got to where we are, because many of us are not where we thought we would be. And that's okay, because we landed right where we're supposed to be. And I don't think we get those messages, or young people get those messages, until they take gap years, or until they have a life-changing event in their life. And then somebody's like, it's okay. And they're like, well, why you didn't tell me that before? And it's like, well, it's always been okay. I thought you knew, but they don't know. They don't know. And it's okay not to, and this is for the adults who may be talking to young people. It's okay for you to share your story. And it's okay for you to say, I didn't take the path well traveled. I took a lesser path too. And letting students know, but you're still successful. Because you get to decide what that looks like for you, not society, not your parents, not someone else. And I know that's a tough thing to navigate at 18, but also learning that young people can advocate for themselves much better than some of us did when we were their age. And just saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's definitely, I'm a parent and you can pretty much say anything to me, but it's how you say it. It's how you say it. If you say you don't want to go to college, okay, take a breath and say, but what is the plan? And there should be a plan, because time is ticking. There gotta be a plan. Okay.
I agree. I think it's important to expose kids to as many different things as possible. So hearing you talk about Summer Academy and having the cooking classes and the beginning archaeological digs about dinosaur exploration and swimming and all these different programs that are offered, as well as even the lunch program, because some kids may say, I want to be the lunch person. Yeah. I want to serve people food and provide sustenance and see them smile when they eat and put meals together. But it's the exposure that creates imagination.
Yes.
And so I think it's powerful that Robbinsdale area schools, as well as Sandburg Middle School and Highview Alternative High School program, are giving kids a chance to be exposed to much more beyond maybe their family scape or maybe even their neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I salute each and every one of you that are a part of those programs, and the staff out there that are opening up the world just a little wider for our children and our communities. That's really important.
Yeah.
Can you please provide the social media handles and or the school websites so that if people want to connect with them that they can, or we can also provide them in the links after the show so that people are able to network and figure out, maybe my child should become a part of the Robbinsdale area school system.
Yeah, for sure. So if you put in your search bar Robbinsdale.org or Robbinsdale School District, it'll come up. You just go under schools and all the schools will come up, Sandburg, Highview, Cooper's and that other schools. And then you click on the school and then it takes you to the school's website. And usually the first picture is a little message from the principal. And then it has all the other programs like the school day, after school, things like that. Now, if you're looking for summer, you can still go to Robbinsdale School District and you click on community ed, and then it'll say summer programming, and you click on that and it'll give you the Summer Explorers, it'll give you Summer Academy. There's a link on there about the food, lunches and things like that. So it's very user friendly. It's usually the first thing that pops up when you put in Robbinsdale School. It's like the link, so it'll come up.
That's wonderful. I just wanted to read a little bit about both schools before we close out, because some really good things are taking place beyond what we just talked about at those schools. Sandburg's middle school mission is dedicated to providing a rigorous, supportive education that prepares all students for advanced placement courses in high school and teaches them the skills needed to positively contribute to their community. I don't think you could hope anything more for kids going into middle school than something like that, being a part of an institution where the focus is that strong. And then Highview Alternative School's mission is dedicated to providing all students a safe, respectful, supportive environment where each student has the opportunity to develop and apply academic, personal, and career skills.
Yes.
I think so many people see alternative program and they believe it's the end of the road for their kid. But I think this is giving them an opportunity to have a comma in their education and continue to prepare for adulthood. Because whether the high school diploma comes, the GED comes, adulting is waiting.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I think it's powerful to not only be a part of both of those programs, but also some good news. Robbinsdale Area Middle School wins the 2022 award for financial reporting. This situation is important because it represents 30,000 staff and professional and educational systems. I think that is a big deal, especially navigating the last few years within the quarantine, to be able to have the transparency to tell family and staff as well as the community at large where we're putting the money that's going for school programs when so many people don't know what that looks like.
Right.
I encourage people within the community as well as parents to get involved with your kids' schools and to support them because it only enriches the programs further.
For sure. Yes.
Thank you for joining me, April. This has been a wonderful time, and I hope that you will be coming back soon so that we can talk about programs in the fall so that kids and parents can gear up for a wonderful school year. Thank you for your work.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
That is all the time we have for today. I hope that you have found something we've shared here not only informative, but also educational and/or inspiring. As always, I am your host, Anna Orr, and I look forward to connecting again with you soon.